That was 2 hours, but that was fun. Oh. Is anyone alive? Twitch.tv/following. Oh, crunch my spine. Not seeing anybody here. That would be rateable. Lucifer, are you streaming tonight? Or today, I guess? Omen's online. O men? I guess we are pegging. That would make them O. Susan! God damn it, Susan. I will be not for another hour and a half. Alright. Thank you all for hanging out. This was very silly and stupid. As I mentioned earlier, I am very close to getting my EDF working. I finished the big bulk part of it today. I have some additional things I wanted to do to it to make it work smoother. Then I have to go into bug testing. And hopefully all of this together works into something that's more functional than it was before. It did everything I wanted in the previous iteration, but the generation times for large groups of people was bad. Very, very bad. So it works solo, you just can't play with others, which is kind of bad for archipelagos. So I had this massive rework to do. And hopefully, I don't even know if this will work. Hopefully, when I get to the end of it, it works better. And I won't know until I'm done. But we are almost there. Almost there. And when I do get it working, I was going to actually do a proper multi-world with myself, but I will have 2 longer games, and I'm also going to create a jigsaw. A very large one with fake pieces and traps and other things. And then viewers can also contribute to multi-world by doing the jigsaw as well. I haven't figured out everything about that yet, but I do want to do that. I just realized that by watching the screen longer and longer, they do keep dropping the bomb orbs, which is changing pegs into bombs. And then when those disappear, the peg doesn't come back on the refresh. So there is less and less pegs on the board as we are watching. Nobody stays on this screen long enough to notice. But the entire top left corner's gone and a few through the right. I wonder how long it would take to wipe the board out. Because it's creating a random orb, from what I can tell. It just dropped another bomb at the top, so that red one's going to disappear. And now it's no longer a peg that can come back with the refreshes. Occasionally it was kind of soft locking itself and not hitting any of the refreshers, and it did just automatically respawn the expend ones, but it didn't create any new. I'm curious how far this goes. Who wants to sit with me for an unknown amount of time to watch the bomb board explode? Because as I have mentioned this, we've lost another 5 pegs. Hell yeah, let's go. Alright. Ask me random questions. Let's have a little chit-chat time then, I guess. As I crack my arm trying to move my sweater. Gummy bears. Absolutely gummy bears. And I have a loose definition of gummy bears. Basically, any gummy candy that is small and chewy. However, no gelatin. Favorite Peglin orb? I would have to remember what they are, and I don't want to click into the encyclopedia to see the list. Because that would ruin this experiment. Another bomb has spawned. Hell yeah. Another bomb has spawned. Hell yeah. Favorite orb? I do like the ice circle, because it just punches through everything. And you don't always get punched through. That is nice to me. I wasn't a fan of the bulwark things. Ballusion over bulwark in this. And that one, the multi-ball gave us Ballusion, and I don't remember that before. When I played initially, I thought the multi-ball was just multi-ball. Favorite speedrun, whether I run it or not? That depends on my mood at that time. Of the ones I have personally run, Core would be my favorite, because I just love the way that game works. It's unfortunately a long game though, so I don't play it nearly as much anymore. Especially when I keep getting told it's not optimized for marathons and other things. I've spent 10 years running the fucking game. It is even possible now. We are so almost out of pegs. This is awesome. Multiple bombs in a row came at us, and they are just clearing themselves out. Yeah, Core, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, is high up on my list of runs to run. Because I actually know it, and I contributed in a large part to how it plays out. Really, really longathon? It's only 2 hours. If I wanted to do the really, really long... No. Wait, does really long take things that are considered unoptimized, or is it just long things? I may have misunderstood what they do. I imagine they have a variety of events, though. But yeah, the first half-ish hour of the game is running to pick up waypoints to jump to, but you need all of those and will have to run to them at some point in the game, and it's multi-purpose doing it early, so that... Let me move out of the way so you can see those pegs. If you do it at the start, you can just fast travel to when you need them, but also it gives you experience on discovering them, and we need to hit certain experience thresholds to actually get through the game. So it works out really well, it just looks shitty. You get the 5-minute tutorial building, do a little skip exploit thingy, and then it's 20 minutes of solid running to pick up waypoints. And then after that, there's variability in spawns, and you need to know what together works with what to get other experience checkpoints. And in my best submission videos, I always misestimated how much experience I needed and got more than expected. So I'm guessing that contributed to why they think it's unoptimized, because I don't know when I have enough or not, but it's so hard to contribute to that much math. Especially when you're layering 4 multipliers on a thing over a level up threshold, which changes the rate at which you actually get that experience. So it's a mess in its own way. And that was even a PB that I submitted, and they said it wasn't optimized enough. Ugh. Still smad about that. But there is a longer category for the game I've never tried to run. I was just doing the any percent, which we got just under an hour 50. So I guess that is long, considering. But if I went for the all twists of fate, which are kind of notable feats of story and side story things, it adds 3 or 4 more extra things to do, and that would probably be closer to 2.5 hours, maybe 3, I don't know. I don't think anybody's run it on the remaster. Over half of these dots have disappeared. It is only the 2 refreshers left. It knows. Few events, lore percent, cutscene runs. There's not really many cutscenes in the game. There's a few, I guess, but they're not particularly interesting either, unfortunately. It's just that they don't consider length of run for a negative point for consideration. Yeah, I guess that would make it better. Favorite kind of chocolate? Do you have to choose? That green orb just hit the refresh peg and didn't refresh. I wonder what it was. Are you talking like brand of candy bar kind of thing you'd pick up on a store, like a Twix, Mars, whatever? Or been a while since we saw a bomb? There's one. That would also depend on my mood. I do like chocolate with the crispy rice in it, though. It gives it a crunch. The top half of the board... Oh, there's another. Huge. It just has to actually ignite these now. We are so close, chat. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 left. Honeycomb chocolate. Honeycomb is cereal. I don't know of a honeycomb chocolate. I used to like caramel a lot, but then they got too melty. Less a fan of those now. They just melt before you even get to them, so you don't even get the caramel part of it. It's just melted milk. There is 0 refreshers on the board. Just created one. It's like, oh fuck. We have expent every peg. Let's bring it back. Quick, quick. Something called honeycomb toffee coated in chocolate. Interesting. They don't want to blow up that top red bomb either. It hasn't spawned anything to hit it. It's out of refreshers again. It's trying to spawn them on things that don't exist because the bombs keep taking them. That one just hit ghost pegs and made them number. Cadbury has crunchy bars. Yeah. Those are alright. That is a little too crunchy, but I do still eat those if I get offered them. They are very good at not putting the refresher on something that can be hit. It keeps putting them on ones that the bombs have taken. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That one deleted it. Hell yeah. 11. No, 10. I am bad at math. 5. 5. I'm glad they thought of a way to at least auto-refresh the board when the pegs disappeared. But we need to know what happens when they disappear, not just get spent. I find it funny they haven't targeted the red bomb at all yet. It is dropping them directly above things to try and get some bounce effects to happen. Oh, it missed. Like, it doesn't know how far to the right that one is. Because it keeps dropping them to the one... I forgot I had a mouse. It keeps dropping them at this one, which goes right past the top one, like that. But they're never dropping them up here, because they're not counting the bomb as a peg to hit. And they're dropping them randomly at ones that don't exist. That's off the map. That doesn't count. So there's one of these reddish orbs falling that wipes them out directly. Then there's the 2 bombs. There's probably only like 40 different orbs at most, right? I think the bold orb has already fallen past it. The way that that looked, a rub orb at the right time would be able to do it too. We're still at 10. Come on, game. Feed our curiosity. Wipe yourself from existence. Yay! 9. I should highlight this. Any other questions or shoutouts? Oh, we are absolutely gonna highlight this just because it's absurd. And Susan do be doing things. Other speed games. Unmechanical, I can't take full credit for it because that's just a puzzle game that's direct in what it wants from you. However, I was the first person to run it, and it was my first game to ever get 100% achievement completion on. So it has a little special place in my memory for that. But after I created the speedrun.com site, there was actually a glitch hunter. I don't think is the correct term. They just knew a few glitches, and those were able to work into runs. Such as the any percent thing, where we can use a bomb to trigger a hatch closing without completing the thing that's supposed to normally close the hatch. So after partway through the area, you can just leave rather than completing the whole thing. Saving 5 minutes in a half-hour run is huge, and that's awesome. Hell yeah, triple out. We are down to 6. 6. Favorite brand? Band. 5. Do I ever listen to music? I know I do, I just don't... Favorite is a strong word. There are several that I enjoy and keep going back to. Shiny toy guns is one I keep going back to. I like shiny toy guns. One Republic, pretty good. It's usually on a song-by-song basis instead of bands. You know how brains be. They just pick a thing and run. We are so close. They just keep dropping things over ones that were just spent. That's not there, you can't hit it. There's nothing. Thank you. So it seems like the orb has to leave the board before the pegs refresh when there is nothing. So it's per wave of drops that it checks the status. And per wave it figures out where to drop them. So all of these will drop in the same spot. And I guess it's the orb that broke the last peg on the board when that one leaves. Because the others respawn there before. So this, as soon as that blue one leaves, it'll come back even though... No? Okay. Theory's broken. It's just a set time, I guess. Come on, 5. I like how there's still a 5 on that one. As the ball spawns, maybe. That one respawned instantly. I think it's just a random timer running in the background to check. Killing floor. It was alright. It's definitely better with other people. But we managed to scrape by on hard a couple times. Yay, bomb! That leaves 4. Definitely better with other people. And it was shortly after we stopped playing that somebody else came on to join. However, we had already started into this, so I wasn't going to back out. And that was an amazing run we had, so worth it to me. We are so close. Wow, the delay on that one. I think I saw the red delete orb on the outside. It just completely missed everything. No, that wasn't it. It'd be the one with the X that deletes things. Not the cut-looking thing. Come on. Do the funny thing. That was the wrong order of funny things. You gotta delete it. There's 2 different spike orbs. One was brown, one was metal. Wood and metal. I don't know the difference. I didn't know there's 2 spike balls, though. What is that icon? Bun orb! Yeah, killing floor, definitely better with multiple people. Having the enemies split their attention is good, because otherwise you're just constantly running and shooting behind you. There's no variance. We did manage to find, I think it was 8 of the collectibles in one map, though. There's 10, so we almost had them all. I did abuse the AI of the enemies for it, though. Hell yeah, 3 left. Basically, you just get down to one last enemy in the wave and kill in a specific order, so it's only a slow walking one that can't catch you. And you can keep walking around for free and just explore. You do have to keep moving, but it is free movement. You don't have to worry about them actually catching you. There's 3 enemies in particular that are noticeably slower. We played the demo, the flamethrower, and the gunslinger, and I think I like them in that order. Being able to blow shit up is fun, even if it is inaccurate. The flame one had dots, so you can kind of cheese things. Just tickle them and run and let them burn down rather than continuing to expend ammo. You had to get past the initial weapon with very low range, though. So they're kind of variable. The gunslinger has crazy movement speed, so they're good in that way. But the reload speed of dual-wielding pistols of various types just took too long. I thought their icicle gun was cool, though. It just seemed... I almost had a one phase on the final boss with the icicle gun because it froze the final boss. I just got unlucky on a random mob spawn that prevent me from actually unloading my 2 left, my fire weapon into the boss, so it ran off and healed twice. I didn't get it to freeze again after the first time, so it probably builds a freeze immunity. There's only 2 bombs left, or 2 pegs left to bomb. You're almost there. Plus 15, minus 15. It went from a plus 5 to minus 15. That's silly. You can do negative damage. Yeah, the demolitions person was fun. There's some enemies that are obviously resistant to explosive damage, but being able to clear out multiple things at once is always... Is that not the bomb ball? No, bomb ball's gray on the outside. That was green. Egg. I am a fan of shotguns, and the flame guy did have a shotgun, and that was very nice. I liked it better than the super weapon. The most expensive weapon on the flamer. Yeah, the deleter did fall through because it was right after another that broke the peg. Flamer's super weapon is a burst / assault rifle. It has a toggle on mode, but it was very inaccurate, and you couldn't tell things were burning that easily with it. It did decently, but the shotgun just felt good because shotguns are shotguns. And that's probably why the support class was my highest, because shotguns. But also medic is amazing. You just don't really get use of that solo because the medic in that game gets guns that shoot healing syringes, and you cannot shoot yourself. you get a healing syringe, and I think it cools down the passive timer on that, but the animation is so long, it actually painful to use that. And it actually got me killed in 2 runs we had? I forget. The sharpshooter's kind of like gunslinger, where it's just gun, but single shot sniper rifle-y type thingies instead of dual revolvers. Kind of opposite ends of the same spectrum. I think I like sharpshooter more than gunslinger, except for the fact you can't run nearly as quickly. Oh, it almost blew it up. Bomb? Didn't refresh because the other was on the board. So sad. We've missed the left peg twice now. We had a chance and it blew it. Particular character type in games. Usually, not necessarily DPS or high damage, but whatever kills the target most effectively. If I know a certain thing gets just over the threshold and uses the least resources possible, that's what I like. Optimizing what we have versus what needs done. When that's not a choice, I go healer. But healer is just always correct for me. Single player, optimizing damage. Groups, healer with optimizing. Fighter, rogue, mage. Ranger, I guess? Because that would be the hybrid of what I said. Halfway between a fighter and a rogue, because it can do combat stuff in a variety of ways. Rogue is more passive. I am not a passive damage person. I like actually doing this stuff. The opposite of a summoner. Keeps dropping one over to the left. Yeah, behind me. Directly through the N. There's nothing there. That might be the 0 spawn. Like, this is the possible range where you can spawn, but if it doesn't find a valid spot, it drops it at 0. Cursor was on the opposite screen. Let me just leave it up here by this one. 45? That was a plus 60, whatever it was. These balls might have varying power levels. It dropped it on the left again, even with my mouse over the right bomb. This is a very silly experiment, and I'm surprised at how long it has taken us. Yay! Bomb gone. Yeah, I think it's just the 0 spawn for the orb drop. Because that is exactly halfway across my monitor. The 720 of the 1440. Plus 5 to minus 15 times negative 3. That's an interesting number. No. Yes. One left. One left. One left. We are so close. And then we... Oh! We did it! What's it do now? Does it blow up the bomb? It forgets to play the game. That is the 0 spawn. We beat the menu screen! Now it's just infinite orb stream because it doesn't have to wait to refresh.